Hey, is...
You know him?
Of course! Can I please have this? I'll give you the umbrella. Yours to keep if you... Thanks! Here you go. This is so exciting! I'm gonna go call him right now!
Well, now we have our tool and a pretty... Excellent work! This window is unlocked. Let's go in. I'm not sure. My olfactory sensors detect chemicals associated with decaying food, and it's unfamiliar to me. That's better. Let's take a look around. Shotaro must be plugged into the mesh. He hasn't even noticed us. I feel like I could scream. Ah! Hi! Mr. Otsuka! Nothing.
Hello, guest. Shotaro has been a bit under the weather recently, so he has not been receiving anyone. He is trying very hard to keep up.
We just checked, and he seems busy.
Is there anything else I might... Shotaro has been under the weather for some time, but I could not... He rarely has visitors or... In fact, you were the first... Several days, in fact. He is. Shotaro is... If you are a reader of his work... I run regular self-checks and have noticed... I appreciate your concern. Very well.
Oh no! We're too late! Looks like he's been here for a couple of days, maybe a little longer. That means whoever did this did it before we even found out about all of this. Stabbed in the chest, right through the back of the chair. Looks like it severed his carotid artery. I don't want to make any assumptions, but I can't help but wonder. We need to hurry. If I'm right, everyone we've talked to so... Someone is following. We have to find his computer, so you interrogate his route. Maybe you can find...
Shotaro has been a bit under the weather recently. He is trying very hard.
That's okay.
Is there anything else I might...
itself down again. Let's see if we can pull some useful information off of Mr. I'll start downloading these files. I finished my examination of Mr. Otsuka's. I didn't find anything particularly interesting, but I copied some files. If we're all done here, we should hurry and go warn Nanya about what we found. Charlie and Sympathy, too. They might be in immediate danger. Let's head for Nanya's bit. Hey! That's better.
Shit! What the hell are you doing back here? Wait, let me guess. You stole some of my files, or hacked my brain, or used telepathy or some shit. Found out someone else got hit by your little ghost in the machine, and when you got there, found out he was deader than new. That close enough?
That is distressingly accurate.
Well, it wasn't much of a damned guess. Charlie Nova is dead.
What? Charlie is...
The autocab he was in drove him right off the bridge and into the bay. It's been all over the news for the last... I'm getting the hell out of NeoSF, and I'm gonna forget that I ever saw you, ever... Hell, maybe I'll pick up a new career. I'm less likely to get murdered for being a fry cook. Have a good life!
Oh no! No! Why is... There was no one in that car! No heat signatures. That wasn't even an auto cab! It's a man... I don't know! That's it! This is... Almost everyone we've talked... We're not investigating this as of right... Logically, I know that. We haven't set out, but someone is using us as a... If they want to keep taking it, we don't have any other... Thank you for sticking... We have more pressing avenues of inquiry to make. Let's move on. Well, we should go to Melody's home and at least meet her. I'm sorry. I was wool gathering. I see we've arrived at the... But that's to be expected, considering that... I wonder how she and Hayden first began... Sorry. Is there anything you'd like to know Flower Cybernetics was established in the early 2000s by Melody's... It started out developing cutting-edge medical tech, including...
I had the thing I needed all the time.
They were vastly successful. The majority of them developing ruggedized military prosthesis for use on injured soldiers, and then eventually electively for special forces. This research line culminated in the development of brain-controlled androids as shock troops, long since barred by international law. Melody took over the company from her aging mother, and she fought against developing further military hardware from that. She pushed the company to use BCA technology for the company. The company is largely... No time like the... Your guess is that... Mine says... Oh, wow! Swanky! What? I have been trying to increase my use... Is Swanky too out of date?
It's certainly before my time.
Oh, Miss Flores! Excuse us for the intrusion.
Oh, I know who you are.
I can explain. I know you don't like Dr. Fairlight very...
Fairlight? I didn't realize Hayden's research had become a charity case. Though I suppose little boy Yannick will throw money at anything that raises his profile.
Wait, you know Hayden? Also, we actually only just met Dr. Fairlight yesterday.
Oh, that's too bad. Now Pat won't have to eat you.
What?
Though I'm not sure your gears would have been good for his digestion.
Actually, madam, I'm not comprised of gears.
Well, either way, he's on a diet. This philosophy is how I lead my life. Sometimes you eat the bear, and sometimes the bear, well, he eats you. Do you understand?
Not really.
Look, I don't have all day to entertain you, Turing, nor your new friend. Not even for Hayden. You don't have time to waste if you're going to find him.
Right.
If you were one of Fairlight's worker bees, you wouldn't have made it through the door. So why are you here to badger me about...
You have me at a disadvantage, Ms. Flores. You...
Just call me Melody, darling. And of course...
I have so many questions. Do you know what's happened to Hayden?
I wish I didn't. Maybe you don't.
Please, Melody, any information. We haven't had access to any of his research notes, and couldn't track down any collaborators he made. Perhaps if we know more...
Well, I don't know if I can speculate on that, beyond the usual corporate infighting. Not that Parallax is known for that, of course. We had been catching up recently, and he mentioned feelings of being watched. he started to worry he had been discussing your development with the wrong people. When he stopped returning my calls, and now that you've shown up with a total stranger, it becomes clear.
I see. Can you tell us...
Oh, I'm afraid not, dear. I've been around long enough.
We were hoping you might be able to shine some light on my origins. Fairlight mentioned that you had worked with Hayden in the past.
I see Hayden didn't neglect curiosity in your personality makeup. Well, you and I haven't properly met, but considering how often Hayden badgered me for design schematics of Flower's latest neural implants, I might as well be your aunt. We'll go with that. I wouldn't mind being an aunt, even to a blue-headed robot.
I'm touched, Melody.
Well then, I'm willing to answer your questions, for now.
Indeed. I don't see the connection between your company and Hayden's research into machine sapience.
Oh, Hayden wasn't researching machine sapience. At least not primarily. Not to diminish the importance of your creation, Turing, but it's best you know the truth. Hayden is mainly interested in developing a way to transfer human consciousness into a machine matrix.
Oh.
You can see why neural implants would obviously be an
I didn't realize...
The concept of transferring the human mind into a computer has been an attractive goal for decades. Functional immortality is... powerful lure.
Yep, it is.
The brain is an immensely complicated machine, and even though we know the right buttons to push to make pictures show up, we still can't replicate the entire thing as a technological construct. Even with the virtual reality implants, we're really just relying on the brain's ability to make sense of nonsensical signals. So Hayden decided the best way to make a machine more like the human brain would be to work in the opposite direction. Instead of mimicking how the human brain worked, he started writing code that mimicked the functioning of the human mind. Think of it like convergent evolution. Two species adapt in similar ways, but on Hayden is a crack programmer when it comes to information collating. It's why Parallax hired him when they did. So he wrote a bunch of self-modifying learning algorithms that were, frankly, baffling, and let them loose. Poke and prod them here and there to make sure they value the same things humans do. And we eventually end up with you, Turing.
Interesting. Hayden never revealed any of this to me.
I imagine he's pretty tight-lipped. You were the first prototype he considered a real success, and he was afraid of contaminating your development before he had a chance to make good observations. Phew, if you can even call it. It's a small city. And if you're in the tech sector, you are never more... When he started looking at... cheeky. But it wasn't... I couldn't care less about Flower's patents anymore. So I gave him... I'm frankly more impressed.
Don't worry. I won't.
Oh, that was a I didn't say that. Hayden was quite interested in Turing, even if he is just a step to further. In fact, he was preparing to publish his findings involving Turing, and I know it's going to make one heck of a... See, the most impressive part about you, Turing, is that you're surprisingly stock.
I I assure you, Melody, my construction involves only the latest and greatest in ROM prototype technology.
Exactly. You're not off the shelf, but you're still just a souped-up ROM, more or less like every other one out there. Your personality algorithms are impressive, but they don't require some new space-age technology to work. Hayden is going to propose that human consciousness transference does not require special brain-like hardware architecture, but merely the right software wrapper to much like how you...
Still, my personality matrices do take up substantial amounts of my processing. Wouldn't custom hardware have capabilities that better...
Sure. There's still plenty of reason in trying to make a computer that works just like a human brain. But if Hayden can emulate the human mind in frankly, I'm not terribly...
Thank you for this, Melody. I understand.
Well, I'm sorry, I don't... Hayden kept me up to date on it. If you can hunt down his note...
Of course.
Sure. Oh, hell, that old bastard and I have been flashing daggers at each other. I contracted out the software development for our first-gen direct link. Things were going great. I turned him down. We've been at it back and forth. He's a snake. Still, it would be fun. Good. I can get back.
Thank you for your time, Melody.
Oh, one more piece of information. I've got the contact info for a Vincent Mensa, who I think might be of help to you. Vincent was working more closely with Hayden inside. I'll send him a message. He owes me a favor.
That would be perhaps Golden Gate Park.
Be careful, Turing. I don't like Fairlight stench all over this scenario.
Cards? This euphemism?
Don't tell him anything if you can. Fairlight.
Thank you, Aunt Melody. Wish I...
Can I help you? I don't really have time to talk.
Are you Vincent Mensa? We're here for a meeting on behalf of Melody Flores.
Oh, good. You're Melody's people. Do you have everything that I asked for?
There must be some miscommunication. Melody said that you would be able to provide us with some information about Hayden Weber's projects within Parallax. He has gone missing, and
Damn that old woman.
What?
We had a deal. She promised me, and I'm not giving up anything until I get what I need. I already know Hayden is missing. Why else would I be willing to sell corporate secrets to Flower? This was my chance to get out of the city. Instead, she sends the two of you. I'm assuming you're Hayden's little pet AI?
Insulting, but accurate.
Look, I'm sorry to come off callous. I do want to help. Hayden was a colleague and a friend, and I want to know he's okay. But I also need help getting the hell out of Neo SF, and now. My info is my leverage. I'll just have to find another buyer.
Perhaps we could assist. My friend here is a terrific journalist, being skilled at hunting down people.
I don't know. Look, I need 100,000 credits, an untraceable car, and a fake passport for me and my wife, Francesca. If you can get me all that, I'll give you anything you want. If you're really sure journos can come up with that kind of stuff and... Might? Dear God, I'm doomed.
Melody only gave us a rough sketch of what you need. The more you can tell us about the situation...
Sure, as long as it is... I'm the head applications engineer for data analysis. Or maybe was. If Hayden is the big brain who comes up with the math that runs the search algorithms, I'm the guy who figures out how to come. We've worked pretty closely. Hayden built a fully independent... Don't get me wrong, I'm a good software engineer. But machine and... We've got full immersion virtual... Because Parallax is rotting from the inside out. Hayden... There's a new project about to roll out, and it's going to change. Since the launch of the MeshNet, the altruism the company displayed, not just rich. My guess? Parallax got rid of Hayden because he was about. If they're willing to get rid of the brightest mind on their payroll, so I'm getting out before I act. Nothing concrete. I probably wouldn't have noticed anything out of. I mean, Hayden goes out for a couple days all the time. He doesn't exactly share. I tried asking around, and if he had jumped ship, went to a different company, instead, dead. Thankfully, he allowed me to keep backups of most of his work. Bring me what I asked for, and I need to make some calls, and this park ROM is fun. I want to poke at it a bit. If you do manage to get what I need, bring it here today and you'll get anything you want. Forwarding photos and info for the passports to Turing now. And I really hope you. I'd rather give it to you than some other. See you soon.
I'm not quite sure where to get fake passports or an untraceable... The only shady folks we know are those punks who vandalized... I doubt they could point us in the right direction, but a lot... They might agree to help us if we get them off the hook for stealing the... We should check the police department and see if Lexi... As for the rest, perhaps That certainly is no... Melody is a... We could ask either of them for it. Up to you to decide which...
I didn't expect you to show up here. I was just about to wrap up booking these two, now that they've had a little time to sit underneath the weight of...
Hey, look! It's the snitch! You know what they... Not in front of the detective, Chad!
Hey, if you don't think the vandalism is enough, I'm sure I can write up a...
Huh! We didn't do nothing that...
Yeah, well, you should have thought of that before you decided... A little community service.
And we would have gotten away with it, too! Chad, shut up! Don't call me that! So what's the point of watching all those... Don't dig us any deeper! They say it in We're not on a television show. What? You think they haven't seen... Why do you always... Oh, now look who's swearing!
Boys, if we're done...
Yes, ma'am. Yeah...
So, what brings... Oh yeah, sure. Let me just toss all this paperwork in the trash and break procedure on your...
Really?
No.
I don't want to help these two jerks. They think they're so bad. So you'd rather do the and have her call your... No. We're totally glad to help. Just don't call my dad.
Shut up.
We really could use their assistance. It's my apartment in a way. Isn't it up to me to decide whether I...
Not even But fine. Take them. I can't handle being within earshot of the blue one any longer.
Aw, I thought we were really making a...
Sorry about Chad, ma'am. He doesn't mean harm. We both need to check in with our families first. So we'll meet the two of you back on Market Street.
Of course. We'll meet you there, Oliver.
What a waste of my... Don't worry. It's a hassle, but you know what we say. Go back to the grind again.
The Hassy Round will help you.
Do you think it would be okay to take that?
The two of you are like a fuzzed sync wave, even if you got us off the hook.
We appreciate that, by the way.
Yeah, sure. Let's just get this over with. Riding this out is freaking exhausting. Then we'll be all squared up. For good.
Right. What do you need?
We need some assistance with some illicit activity that, statistically, individuals in your age bracket are likely to have experience with.
Oh! So this is one of those things where you need a streetwise kid to show you the ropes. So, what's the thread? B&E? War driving? Copyright infringement? Search bombing?
Is search bombing actually illegal?
It's against the terms of service, so... Oh, that's nothing! If you can pay. Ollie can whip up a couple that'll work good enough to get you past a bouncer or a cop doing sniff tests. He's a wizard with a printer.
It's more complicated than that. We need falsified passports that can get two people past the border safely.
Oh, yeah, I don't think Ollie can do that. Can you?
Not without equipment a lot more expensive and illegal than what I already have.
What about that guy who got at least that unrestricted mesh card when she was on probation?
That's not really the same thing, Chad. But it wouldn't hurt to give him a call. Give me a few minutes. This guy is pretty sketchy, very cloaky.
Excellent. I'll forward you the relevant documents and photos.
Oh man, now I'm starting to feel left out. Ollie gets to show off all his cool connections. Like in a little, that's my area of expertise in our little duo. Well, that and petty larceny.
We might have something that will suit your skill set. Let's just get the passports first, if you can stay calm.
You sure yap a lot more than any of the ROMs I've ever owned. What's the deal? You install some new conversation routines Ollie ain't had the chance to nerd out about yet? They're top notch, very bleeding edge.
I don't run traditional ROM VI personality software. I am, in fact, the first fully sapient machine intelligence. Well, at least...
Which means what exactly? In English?
It means he's a person, Chad, not a toy. Now keep it down. I'm still on the phone.
Oops. And yes, what he said.
Well, that's awesome. You ain't so bad. For a tin can.
Tin can? Really? I'm composed almost Has no one come up with better insults for robots since ROMs have been out for almost...
Yeah. That's a good point. Give me a sec. I'm pretty good at name-calling.
Oh no, I'm sorry I brought it up.
Just hold on a second. Underclocked? Oh.
Don't hurt yourself, Chad.
I'll get back to you, Bubblehead.
Okay, I talked to the guy. He said he'll do it, but he only works in trade. A couple of passports are gonna run us... One signed poster for Magical Commander Yukino? Yukino at the Gates to the Deep?
Course. It's always that Japanese crap.
It's not my fault they make the best VR dramas. Maybe you can do better?
Probably.
Anyway, where can we get a poster like that?
I'm not sure. Probably nearby. I've done switches with this guy before, and he never asks for something that'll take... My guess is he's a local that uses people... We'll help you look for it. Oh, there it is! I knew I saw a poster for Magical Commander Yukino somewhere around here. I should have remembered Ramona had one.
You know this lady?
Sure. You're usually too busy...
You call it provoking.
There's a bit of a line.
We could just do a smash and grab. Simple.
We can't do that! She knows who we...
Besides, you are...
This is the most boring...
Look, we'll just stand in line.
Like a bunch of clumps? What is the big picture?
I'm not sure it's wise to... for either of us.
Screw that, Static. I'm not heading to Juvie, not... Spill the beans!
Your persistence is already legendary, Chad. Fine. If you really must know, we are going to trade the passports for some information regarding... His apartment was the...
Oh shit, that Hayden dude is your dad? And they snatched him?
Well, Dad after...
Man, I hope you find the dudes that took...
It seems very...
Oh man, I mean, I still have my...
Chad?
He's never really been around. Even now, he's over there standing in front of that damn clinic. And I thought I could find a... Whatever. I might as well nuke that... It ain't gonna sink.
I think I understand what...
Hell yeah!
Dudes?
Don't matter if you're a robot or what. We all... gotta grab destiny by the horns and make your own... Hey, won't fault you on good taste, but watch that whole babe thing. I'm taken, and I don't need no game being spit my way.
That's not... Never mind. The line has finally cleared...
Salutations, Ramona.
What can I do for you all?
Ahem.
Oh, this is my friend, Chad.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
We were hoping you might be able to give us your assistance.
We want to make a trade for that magical Commander Yukino poster over there.
No way! Not happening. Nuh-uh. Yukino is off limits. How does life and death depend on a... Look, I don't even care. That poster was signed by Takeko herself.
I'd rather not drag you any... This is a dire situation.
Jeez. Look, whatever you're doing, I don't even see how the poster...
Man, you nerds sure do love your...
Cheap crap! I'll have you know. Takeko passed away. It's special.
Sure it is.
He doesn't get it.
Thankfully.
It's not just... It was a gift from someone I care about, okay? Besides, you can't get another...
Perhaps there's something...
You aren't hearing me. It has sentimental value. Look, you'll just have to...
Oh, we don't have time.
Keep me out of this.
Hell yeah!
I'd like to see you
I'd like...
Chad, we're not
None of your asses are stealing. And for the record, I'm sure whatever you're working on, I'm not giving up that... Please. Nope.
Okay, enough. How about this for a trade? I have an original keyframe cell from Pretty Champion Sailor Sirius, signed by Takeko at home.
Whoa. You have a signed Sailor Sirius cell? That's super rare. They stopped doing keyframes by hand right around the time of her death.
You can't be serious, Ollie! You have that thing framed on your wall! And you wouldn't shut up about it for a week after you got it!
This is important, Chad. You can't say you wouldn't do the same I can't ask Ramona to give up something important.
Maybe.
Look, okay, I don't know what's going on, but you can't give me that cell.
But we need...
Yeah, you'll get the poster. Whatever you're doing, it must be real... Do you have something more...
A couple of things, maybe.
We'll talk about it then. Maybe you can find me another... Go ahead and take the poster.
Thank you, Ramona.
Yes! I can't tell...
Sure. And,
Of course! I'll bring it over.
So cool!
I don't like the way she was flirting.
What are you...
I know flirting when I see it. And
We just talk about old anime some...
Sure.
Well, we have the poster now.
Go ahead and call this number, Turing. He'll want to set up the drop with you, now that I've introduced you to him.
Sure. Change the...
I'll call him right... It's ringing.
You the ones looking for some papers?
We are, and we have the...
Good. We're gonna do this real professional-like. You know Stardust?
I do.
Head there. Leave the poster behind the Mega Phobator arcade cabinet, and get out. Come back 10 minutes later, and your stuff will be behind the machine.
I understand.
Good. I'll be waiting.
Well, that was very...
Yeah, that's how... I don't even know his...
I've wasted enough of my...
Go inside to make the drop. We'll wait out here.
Yeah. Don't want to get her right.
I suppose I should...
Hey, it's a pretty cool set. Even if it is like...
They don't really care about the...
Found that one out.
We would have been fine if you hadn't taken a swing at the bouncer.
So I like the heart.
We'll be right back, gentlemen. Try not to set the building on fire. No security right now? That should do it. That was an awful lot of... I just don't understand the appeal. Ah, that is true. Ramona seemed more Perhaps it is Perhaps I should pick up a few things from the apartment. I do have perfect recall, but a few of Hayden's memories are better. But that's enough, Nate. Let's head back outside so our benefactor can make the trip.
Y'all do the deal?
How did it go?
We left the poster behind the cabinet. Now we just need to wait for the switch.
I've never had to wait more than 5 minutes or so before. It shouldn't take long. I wonder how he knows the drop happened, and gets to it so
Don't matter. This guy's a solid feed, even if he likes to mess around.
What do you need these passports for? You said to trade for information.
Without going into too much detail, the passports are one. We also need to obtain an untraceable car. I don't suppose the two of you could...
No way, dude! Grand Theft Auto is a felony with a capital F! Besides, getting an untraceable car ain't in the same league as a...
Chad's right.
Of course I'm right!
The city's traffic management system keeps track of all vehicles passively, even if you manage to circumvent their firmware and keep them from actively reporting to the network. You have to spoof the car as something permitted to be invisible for the CTOS to ignore it.
I don't want to mess with boosting cars anyway. The junks run that racket in Neo SF, and they don't play nice.
Especially with the HR.
Well, thank you either way. You've both done us a huge favor. Call it even for the apartment.
Yeah, Blue. No hard feelings. You give us a call if you need anything else. Long as it'll help you find your pops.
We should get going, though. We were
My dad won't notice, but Ollie... You take care. Don't get de-rezzed.
See ya!
Goodbye! Let's finish the trade and... Here the passports are, just as advertised. Now we need to find a car. Jess is right over there. Perhaps she may know someone who can lend a hand. Good thinking.
Oh, look. It's my favorite human and the mechanical sidekick. Did you find your guy? Or wait, let me guess. There's something else you need from me. Well, you haven't been terrible to deal with so far, so I'm willing to hear you out. barely.
We need access to an untraceable car. An informant of ours needs to get out of the city without attracting the attention of Parallax and is offering value.
Seriously? Jesus, what kind of shit? Actually, don't answer that. I'm gonna be reliable. I'm not sure why you think just because I defend a few folks in the rougher parts of the city that I... And even if one of my clients did run a carjacking business, it's not like society. Regardless, I'm not going to be an accessory to it. I won't go down that path. I wouldn't...
I know we're reaching, but...
You just don't quit, do you? This might be a long shot, but you could try asking Majid. There are rumors he may have been... He'll probably be reluctant to talk about it, but there's a free lead. Get me another drink in exchange, will you?
Huh. That went... I wonder if my charm... Oh, you performed admirably.
I gave you what you wanted, right?
Let's keep it the path we're on. If you examine those headphones on the items menu of your Lips Type M mobile device, you will be able to play any kind of music you like. Aw, thanks for the hug. Today is December 22nd. Just 3 more days until Christmas.
Woohoo!
I've learned a lot today about how business deals work.
Woohoo!
Greetings, guest. My records indicate that you were here recently. Have you returned for a checkup? I can schedule one for you and assist you with the paperwork if you need it. Patient Fairlight is currently available to receive visitors. Take the stairs to the 2nd floor and meet him in room 214. I will page ahead and let him know you're all... Please note that Patient Fairlight is to avoid undue stress, so take... You will be ejected from the building if you...
Stress-free, that's our...
Ah, I didn't expect to see you so soon. Have you had a break in the case? I've been receiving odd phone calls from strangers. I hope my suggestion to speak with me...
It did. She pointed us towards a parallax...
Ah, wonderful.
The information should...
Ah, I see. How much?
100,000 credits in cash.
For someone selling a parallax. I'll message Leon and have him gather the cash. As long as your information from
That sounds fair, Dr.
Glad we can. Now, it will take a little. Perhaps the two of you. My treatments can be.
I think we can.
I'd rather see the picture. Perhaps there's a.
Oh, yes, perhaps. As we've been pulling on the loose. His time with me was.
I too only know a little about Hayden, but it was a different time.
It was a different time. Was it long ago?
After the merger, the board of directors and I decided that I would oversee the same research division Hayden was a part of.
What, Operation Kick in the Head?
I first met him at my desk.
I said Operation Kick in the Head.
To hear him tell it, his direct superior was stifling his attempts to develop a new search algorithm, calling it a waste of time.
And an operation for kicking the head. Hello, high in the mountains of Mexico.
I should have disciplined him for insubordination, as the management structure is there for a reason.
Yeah.
But, well, I admired his spirit, and I read over his proposal.
Did you?
It was solid, so I greenlit it. I recall he spent one furious weekend pushing our supercomputer to the limits with his calculations and dropped the results in front of me the following Monday.
Nice.
Almost too exhausted to stand. He knew how to command a room in his own way, a talent few men of the mind have.
What was the proposal?
As I said, it was a new search algorithm, one that correlated the user inputs on the Lips OS with search terms to give more relevant predictive results to a specific user. It would measure all types of data that we regularly collect, and then use those elements to quickly and accurately determine the user's age, gender, interests, even their immediate desires. Very dicey stuff to keep as useful data, but Hayden's algorithms were solid. After a little work, search results became almost 25% more desirable to the user upon implementation. I'm not sure anyone else could have pulled it off, but it earned him his own research team. He was a whirlwind during those days.
He always seems so calm and patient. It's hard to imagine him storming into anyone's office like that.
Well, he was a younger man then. It's easy for the young to bulldoze through problems. As you get older, even talents like Hayden have to learn to work through a problem instead of burning a path. When you get to be my age, you'll be lucky to have any energy left to budge.
Thank you, Dr. Fairlight.
That is a bit embarrassing. The folly of a younger man, I assure you.
So it's 8 for the price of 5, so you get 3 free.
Our companies work together to develop the first generation of virtual reality neural implants. Really impressive work. Though, I don't know if anything could impress me more than Miss Flores. It was rare for me to feel so completely outmatched in every way. It was thrilling, intoxicating. The power she had over a room was mesmerizing. Riding high on the success of our joint venture, I asked her, quite brashly, if she could continue to outmatch me in different ways. I am ashamed to admit that I didn't take her rejection with grace. I directed our company to sabotage the neural implant program, but she was already 3 steps ahead, laughing over my defeat. We've been at odds ever since. But I have never married, and neither has she. Sometimes enemies can be closer than our allies in a certain light. Perhaps it's time to bury the hatchet. I wouldn't object to spending the rest of my time with a respected adversary. I shall send her a correspondence.
I wish you luck, Dr. Fairlight. Melody is still quite sharp in every sense of the word.
I would expect nothing less from a woman of her caliber. She is irreplaceable. A dastardly tale. After the merger, I was given the position of Chief Technology Officer and was tasked with integrating System 1's Lips OS and Parallax's web search products. Things were going well, especially with Hayden's newest work, pushing the boundaries of what can be done with the technology, until the board started the MeshNet project. It was ambitious, and has proven to be a game changer in the long run. But at the time, the board was blind to the possible weaknesses in the system. And I fought long and hard for more time and resources to make sure the new network was secure. A breach of the system could leak millions of users' data and would deal a nasty blow to the company at a time when it was still getting its feet settled. They overrode my objections and launched the damn project early, trying to plump up a lean quarter. You should know the rest. Some child tore a hole in the network a mile wide. The entire company had egg on its face for months until they could patch the security weaknesses. And despite the fact that I had made calls for more time from day one, they used the event as a reason to ask me to step down as CTO. I was a troublesome relic from System 1, and they were tired of fighting me, no matter how right I was.
That must have been frustrating, knowing you were right and being muscled out anyway.
Frustrating is only one of many words for it, Turing. But it was also a long time ago. I have other pursuits now. Ah, of course. Don't let my ramblings keep you. Time waits for no one, include... Leon should be downstairs waiting for you with the... Good luck and Godspeed, my friend.
Thank you again,
Hey, there you are. I was afraid Fairlight would talk your ears off until your bone... Or, well, I guess you don't have bones, Turing. Maybe until your circuits oxidized? Man, modern technology really screws up good old colloquialisms.
I feel your pain, Mr. Decker. I am constantly amazed at the sheer number of sayings and permutations. Keeping up is a veritable...
At least you have the entire mesh hooked right into your brain, eh? The rest of us... Anyway, Yannick had me get you two some cash. Not sure what you did to pry it out of the old man, but I wish I was getting Christmas bonuses like...
We have a meeting with someone who might be able to give us answers and is offering valuable information.
Information can be real expensive. But still, if you decide to blow it all on something fun, don't forget your old friend Decker, alright? I know some spots to drop a little unmarked cash if you catch my meaning.
Certainly, Mr. Decker.
That's the spirit. You've got...
I can only imagine what carnal pursuits Mr. Decker was referring to. Regardless, I can ponder the mysteries of the human glandular system. We still have things to do before we can meet back up with Mr. Mensa. Let's keep it the path we're on. Today is December 22nd. I've learned a lot today about how busy. Let's keep it the path we're on.
I told you, I'm not... It's just like Melody to treat me like I'd forget.
Maybe we should ring... I suppose we should come back later. Let's finish up what we were doing before first.
Patient, have you been Patient, have you been recovering?
Welcome to the Neo San Francisco. How may I be of assistance? Crime is down in this district by 12%. Thank you for your sustain. Would you like to learn more about employment?
What? Thanks anyway, Officer 72. What were you trying to do?
Welcome to the Neo. How may I be of assistance? Crime is down in this district. Thank you for your support. Would you like to learn?
What? Thanks anyway, officers. What were you trying?
Hey, friends. What?
We were hoping you could give us a little...
Sure, but first... Coming right up. I'll ask Gus if I don't... He's better with the weird kind of stuff people ask for these...
This one is...
Does that sound good? Here you go. So, what did you need?
We've run into a roadblock in our search for...
Word on the street is that he's gone missing.
Yes. An informant of ours needs secure transportation out of the city, but we don't have any contacts who would be... Jess mentioned that you used to engage in certain extra-legal activities. Perhaps you could point us towards someone...
He doesn't do that kind of stuff anymore.
Right. Sorry, friend. I left that life behind a long time ago. Don't really keep in touch.
Ah, of course. Completely under... Sorry to bother you then.
Well, no harm in asking, right? My reputation precedes me.
Don't let it go to your head.
Gus, I need to go to the back and gather up stuff to restock for the rush later on. Mind manning the bar for?
Take your time. I think I...
Thanks. Love you, hun.
Well, that leaves us at a dead end. Any ideas on how some nose-to-the-ground journalist... No, Tomcat has already stuck their neck out. I feel a little... And besides, this... That might be our only option. Though, last time we... Well, I'd get... Can you even use human... Regardless, we might...
Oh, come on. Okay, the two of you are killed. Look, don't tell Majid about this. But... Here.
What is this, Gus?
It's an automated vehicle maintenance scanner with a few less than standard upgrades. When you circumvent its security codes, you can use it to scan a car's installed firmware and replace it with a new set that will spoof its presence on the city's network. That's the gist of it, but we don't have time to get into any specifics. You need to get the hell out of here with that before Majid gets back. Look, Majid has done a lot to turn his life around, to turn my life. I really respect that about him, and it's part of why I fell in... He did what I was... That's how we met, you know? That old... But when Stardust struggled, and I had to get back in the game to keep us afloat for a few years. I told him it was all angel loans, donations from patrons. He'd be heartbroken if he found out I'm still in the game. I had to do whatever I may as well give this thing to someone who wants...
I can't tell you. We might finally be on our...
Yeah, well, just get out of here and...
Of course! Well, now I think we're cooking with gas, as the colloquialism goes. I'm searching the mesh for instructions on how to use this device as we speak. Let's go look for some likely candidates. I should be ready by then. It has an extra cup holder. Oh, rats! This car has the wrong firmware installed. We won't be able to install it. We'll have to check another... Oh no! How did the alarm get set off? Did I do something wrong? Let's get out of here before... This car has old enough firmware, but its maintenance system is screaming a half-dozen critical alerts. I'm not sure this vehicle is in good enough shape. We'll have to look for one in better condition. It has an extra cup. Success! This vehicle has the appropriate firmware version. Someone has been neglecting their regularly scheduled updates. Give me a moment to get... There. There are some other options here. Ah, interesting. I can put in pre... Why don't we go ahead and set a plan for the car to return to this spot in a week? That's more than enough time for Miss... Now we aren't really stealing. More like borrow. Me too. The car will drive itself to Golden Gate Park, and we can show Mr. Mensa where it is when we meet him. There, everything should be... Mr. Mensa is waiting for us. We have everything he...
Hey, did you manage?
We did.
Everything seems to be in order. Here. This disk has all of Hayden's research notes, data collation algorithms, and probably lots on your creation, Turing. It should be everything myself and Melody agreed upon, until she added an amendment while you were out. Frankly, it's no skin off my back. Here. It's my Parallax employee badge. It should allow you access to their networks in case there's anything I've missed. You'll want to use that sooner rather than later. I'm not wasting any time leaving, and Parallax is pretty fast to revoke security. There's no way Hayden's clearance still works. And with that, I'm going to get the hell out of this country. The credit should tide me over until the heat dies down and I liquefy my shares through some... I suppose I owe you that. Buckle up. This could get... Parallax is about to launch a new service they're calling Big Blue. At least, that's the project name. Who knows what the marketing guys will come up with for the public. They're not even announcing the launch. This shit is dead quiet. Let me explain why. It's a distributed intelligence. Like, okay, in every way that Hayden built Turing to be elegant, efficient, and human-like, Big Blue is ham-fisted, bloated, and sterile. They didn't pull Hayden into the project. He's smart, but he's immune to corporate politics. As a result, Big Blue is far less elegant than anything Hayden would make. It lacks his artistry, and it's downright terrifying. It squats on the mesh like a spider and uses the spare processing power and memory from every ROM on the network to handle its intelligence processing. It doesn't have much personality, but it's very smart. Big Blue is going to be embedded directly into the network and then self-modify to apply even more efficient algorithms as it develops them in machine time. Look, if you access every ROM, then you have access to every human and every bit of their own personal data associated with them. I don't want you to take what I'm saying the wrong way, and this is just me putting the pieces together. Hayden was about to publish his creation of Turing. His findings, as I'm sure you're aware of, would have raised many moral and ethical questions about the advent of machine intelligence. I mean, some of the brightest minds ever have tried to warn humankind away from building real AI. Hawking, Musk, Gates, and the list goes on. The public is likely to be nervous, and legislators even more. Parallax is banking on being able to launch Big Blue quietly and quickly before any counter-movement can pick up. Every eye on the discovery of machine intelligence works against Parallax. Every new discovery only serves to paint Big Blue as more controversial. Honestly, they probably pressured Hayden to drop his research so that they could keep the public away. He clearly refused. I'm only assuming that his contract with Parallax affords him the freedom to work on his own academic projects. He kept a trusted few of us up to... It's exciting stuff. Both Turing and... I wouldn't be surprised if word of it got up to the board and... Is the possibility that someone on the inside
I knew it all along, Hayden.
That's not what I want your takeaway to be. Hayden wasn't working on Big... I can't really give you a good... I mean, the company is currently handled by a dozen servers. When Big Blue launches, it'll hit... And there are... Shit. I mean, if you can cope... The potential for abuse is... That's something like 80% of the... They could control all just by asking. It's scary stuff. They scrapped the proto...
What do you mean?
Manipulating the mesh. They made it self-preservation imperative. When the board found out, they pulled the plug. That must have been a year. They tweaked Big Blue so it wouldn't do the same thing. Given a good enough reason, it might... Having that kind of control would be a hell... They'll go to pretty... Hey, no problem. I've had enough of this cutthroat... We haven't talked much, but I do believe you can find Hayden. I hope... Be sure to let Turing help. She's a bright... Oh, slip of the tongue. I was just more familiar... She was very insistent.
Well, honestly, I'm still a very new being. I will continue to consider how I... If I had to make a choice, most people assume it, obviously.
Oh my god. I'm listening to a machine postulate on how it wants to be referred to. What have you done indeed, Hayden? Good luck.
Thank you, Miss... I need a few... I've been going through some of Hayden's personal notes from the data cache Tomcat Now that I'm starting to get to know Hayden better, the real Hayden as opposed to the Hayden he showed me, I'm finding that I love... For example, remember the earlier prototype? Her name was Grace, and Hayden shut her down. I'm not even sure... Too... likable? She was kind and bright. She even decided that she was a girl, and that her favorite... Hayden thought she was being manipulated. He posited that he had made her personality algorithms, that even her gender was a calculated attempt. But he was wrong. I have a snapshot of her personality profiles here, and when I compare them to my own, I can see that I wish I could have met her. Like I said, everyone refers to me as he once they meet me just for Is that a calculated attempt? Or is it a product? I wish I could playing God in the You can't choose to create. Even so, for all of that, I don't know. This all seems so inane. They killed him because That's ridiculous. I just want... It's impossible. I'd do anything. I'm aware of the Kubler-Ross model. I think I'm somewhere between anger, a testament to Hayden's... Thank you for your words. You're a better friend than I could. I'll send this new data along to Tomcat. Let's head back to the apartment and wait for them to finish. Ah, home sweet. And before you say anything, I don't feel the need. Too much has happened. I've already forwarded everything we rooted out. They said they would be over in the morning. Perhaps things will look better in the... Good night.
Rise and shine, you sleepy layaback. We've got a whole crop of things to do and not a lot of time to... Hardly had to blink to crack your door. Did you know that it's just a knockoff of the Secugate? Why'd you make the entry code the birthday of your first dog anyway?
That's what I asked.
Anyhow, I felt a little silly when I realized your window was propped open and I could have just used that.
Deja vu!
Y'all should be more careful about that. Though, I can't blame you much. Climate control in here seems a bit lacking in the stamina department. No.
What have you learned from the files we...
Nothing all that new, to be honest. All the files we got from that Vincent fella just covered what we already knew. There is one thing that stands out, though. At least from...
Oh?
Yeah. See, Hayden's long-term goal wasn't to make a machine intelligence. Don't take it the wrong way, Turin. You might even already be aware of this after talking to... Hayden wanted to make a machine system that could contain human-like intelligence. And even just from his notes, his elegance. I'm just a kid banging on pots and pans compared to him. Looking at his notes about my interfacing between your AI core and the Lips OS, I barely managed to duct tape the two together at a level he... But I think I'm getting off track here. What I'm trying to say is, he didn't write your code, Turin. No one did. Hayden wrote a program that automatically generates a new machine intelligence based off of the hardware profiles the system...
Melody mentioned something about that.
Exactly. Assuming we can get our hands on Turin's original source code, we could generate new machine intelligences. You wouldn't be the only one anymore.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal.
I hardly know what to say.
But once you consider the stuff I found in the research, stuff about Big Blue and Parallax's...
Vincent speculated that Hayden's research into me would have interfered with the launch.
Turin.
That's why someone had...
The potential for wrongdoing with an AI like Big Blue is... Even if I don't go into all the crooked shit the people run... I mean... Your personality profile would degrade pretty quickly outside your original hardware. But Big Blue ain't got that limitation. If it's good and proper.
How likely is that?
I'd say it's inevitable. In fact, in a sense, it's already happened.
What?
Their prototype build. Baby Blue. I'm almost certain it's loose on the mesh. The research notes on the project show, clearly and with certainty, that the test AI was shut down once it tried fiddling with the data on the meshnet in the hope that I guess it didn't think that doing scary shit like that would get it. But that was almost a year ago.
Vincent told us about all...
Well, I think Baby Blue was the bugger that was changing all those articles on the mesh to be pro-parallax, or at least...
Do you think Baby Blue had anything to do with the attacks on Nanya, Shitaro, Charlie, and Zen?
I don't know. It might have found an agent in the real world to keep its existence. Killing people is messy as hell. I think we have a third party, and my money is on someone from Parallax. We already know they don't care. I think we gotta do something to stop. It's too dangerous. I don't want a company like... If we can get Hayden's original source code for Turin and upload it onto the mesh through Parallax, we can turn every single ROM and... That'll stop Big Blue from being able to become the monolithic... We could also upload a patch for every ROM to prevent Big Blue's reach from... Without the ability to control all ROMs, Big Blue loses its...
And I wouldn't be alone. There would be hundreds of millions of ROMs.
Well, you're cutting edge of ROM tech. Most of today's ROMs wouldn't be quite... It'll be a self-sustaining. You'll be in good company soon.
It's a big... We're talking about the point of no... Is it okay for us?
We don't have any other choice. This is gonna happen. Either Parallax get...
What do you think?
I hope you don't kiss your mama with that mouth, but you're right.
Well, whether the world... We're here to stay. I might as well throw my chips in for my... Let's do this! On our terms.
Yes.
Ha! It does have a certain... Parallax removed Hayden to... Just for what's right. Perhaps after all, paying them back...
I like the way you think, Turin. First things first, we need to get our hands on Turin's... The research notes we've gotten so far are helpful, and it's... I can't replicate them myself, so...
Thankfully, we have the best hacker in...
We can get the source code from one of Parallax's secondary data. It's probably stored in a couple of different places, but I've done a little groundwork on... You're a peach, hon. I've got a couple of ideas on how to get y'all in, but we should do it soon, though. First, guard shift don't change until 8 when not... Once y'all have done that, you'll have to upload it, physically. And that's... From there, the ROMs will install... So, don't set anything on fire.
That sounds like a workable... I hope you don't mind if I take a short... I know I gave the go...
Sure thing, doll. I'll hash out a rough plan by the time you get... Call us if you need anything.
Thank you.
Well, I guess I should say thanks. But I kinda need to... I'm actually glad Turin went out. They're a bit naive, and I'm not... There's enough shit to worry about without me... I don't even know where to start. The beginning. Yeah. So, the truth is, I'm not from North Carolina. I only visited... I'm California born and raised. Over the years, it's kind of grown into a community of, well, my parents were no exception. They never gave me too much hell, but things were tense. Eventually, she was set up securely. I think my parents were a little relieved to see. I worshipped the ground my sister walked on. She was flashy, colorful. She was Tomcat. She let me learn at her feet, and once I was good enough, folded me into her little coup of... She's the one who orchestrated the original hack on Parallax, exposing... I was just along for the ride. She always knew she would get caught, though. How could she? She was looking at serious jail time. But it just wasn't right. It wasn't... She was always better at software than hardware, so I rigged all of our computers to self... When the feds showed up at our door, all of our server farms were all... I gave them quite a fireworks. Before she could stop me, I turned myself in as Tomcat. She tried to talk me out of it, but... It's alright, though. No big deal, right? And so... I cooked up so many ideas, but before I... There was an accident. An auto cab hit my sister. It's hard. Blaming yourself. I took her sentence so that she could have a life. And instead, not being in jail killed me. If I had just let her take the blame. And no matter what I told myself, in my heart, do you know how rare it is for those things to hit a human? Someone knew who she was. Someone knew. So I became Tomcat. I've spent years failing that. I've been trying to find a way to bring them down the way Catherine was. If you had met her. But over time, that little bot has grown. Maybe you have. Yeah, that's true. I guess you in turn have more than enough. I just wanted to get that all off my chest. My sister, she'd smack. Still, I won't. I know she'd be proud. I've been carrying all. I finally feel. Thanks for hearing me out.
Friends, I've returned. I'm ready.
Good. We've wasted. I've marked the location of the data center. You'll have to go in and get the source.
We'll do our best, Tomcat.
Oh, don't you worry about that. Get going, you two. I have lots of code to write and...
Of course, Tomcat.
Don't worry about it, hon. We've all been hurt by... Good luck.
Save it there.
We're back here again. Who knew a parallax data set? I'm certain it's the nasty kind of... The building we're looking for. We should try to finesse our way. We don't want to alert...